Yes, indeed.
Something smells funny.
Okay, well, it ain't me.
It ain't me. You know what it is.
I do know.
It smells like the weekend.
That's right.
That's right. It has its own special musk, an enchanting musk indeed. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Happy Friday to you, the 26th day of October 2018. Dan Kuntz, your host, senior news correspondent Steve Harrod to my immediate left. Congratulations on the new title. Cat is in control. And it turns out the mystery has been solved on how you got your name senior news correspondent. It was Cal who did that.
Cal came up with that, huh?
Yeah. So, because when we rechanged the credits at the end of the news, and we had to move people around, we brought Cal on board and all that other stuff. So, you know, what do we call Steve? And
so they had a pool or something.
I think Cal just decided.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
that your
he's the news director. So
yeah, he can call you whatever he wants.
I kind of prefer bureau chief, but you know.
Okay, you can do that too. He's our Palisades bureau chief. Whenever there's breaking news out in Palisades, he's our go-to guy. Happy Friday, good show for you today. Lots going on, busy day. Boy, the newsroom was hopping again yesterday. We've had a busy week.
Boy, it's been a lot of breaking news,
yeah,
you know, especially in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. Yesterday we had a situation out on Chelan Avenue that we'll be reporting on a little later, involving a suspected drug house and a SWAT team, and traffic disrupted for about an hour. So, yeah, all's well that ends well.
That's good. A lot of news, a lot of rain. Especially overnight. I'll throw some stats your way. Of course, the rain thing, first of all, they measure it at Pangborn. Let's make that perfectly clear. So some areas might get a little less or a little more rain, depending on where you're at. And the 24-hour period that ended at midnight, we had less than a tenth of an inch of rain. But in the overnight hours, beginning at midnight all the way till just about a half an hour ago, we got an additional quarter inch of rain. That came down. So yeah, we had most of the rain that we got came down in the overnight hours. I just went outside not 5 minutes ago. It is not raining at all now in downtown Wenatchee, but we're going to have some passing showers here and there till about 10 o'clock this morning. Then it dries out. In fact, we could even see some sunbreaks later.
Some of those, by the way, some of the lower lying areas in Wenatchee are still seeing some standing water. I encountered some driving into work this morning, so be on the lookout for that, especially before the sun comes up.
But boy, do we need the rain.
Absolutely.
We needed the rain big time.
By the way, we have a little update for you. We did have a power outage overnight.
Okay.
700 customers in the area of Orchard and Washington Street. That power has been restored, but again, if you're still having some lingering effects from that, call them at the PUD.
I wonder what caused that. Aren't they having problems with squirrels
crawling
crawling
into... Yeah, a lot of squirrels climbing into transformers.
Yeah, well, they're nice and warm in there.
Yeah.
They're also quite deadly.
Yeah.
So... let's take you around whatever we. Oh, let me get through the rest of it. We got sports. It's homecoming tonight for Wenatchee High School. That's why I'm wearing this. So, Kat says this is what I get to wear this one day a year, and that's homecoming. And tonight is homecoming at Lee Boffler Field at the Apple Bowl. Walla Walla is in town. A town so nice they named it twice. And so I wear this one day a year for homecoming, and then it goes right back into the closet again.
Right back into the closet, huh?
Yep. So, and this cat just whispered in my earpiece. Thank God for that.
We're in Jim Otto's old numbers.
Yes, absolutely. Sports, the obscure holiday birthdays, today in history, everyone is entitled to Mike McKnight's opinion. And the final in our series of Make a Difference Day interviews with our good friends at the Trusting Spirit Horse Rescue. They got a big project going on. Claudia Trapp, who started this organization back in 2006, and Stephanie Steibel will be joining me to talk about what they have going on for Make a Difference Day. And the forecast for that, by the way, looks good.
Big day tomorrow. Make a Difference Day. In fact, if you go to our website, ncwlife.com, I believe we have some snippets of the various interviews.
Yeah, all the interviews have been archived, and they've been there actually for most of this week. So you can look at them anytime you want, and then all that good stuff. So Make a Difference Day is back for another big year. All right, let's take you around wherever we can see in North Central Washington with our Valley View cameras, or our Valley non-view camera. Yeah. Good morning, Hoquiam. It's good to have you on board. That's our usual cross camera. That's what you see from that angle and that elevation. That's it. That's all we got. You can see a couple of lights down there. Pretty thick fog. Again, it should be burning off a little bit later on today with a couple of sun breaks. It will be dry, by the way, for football tonight. A lot of football games going on. So there you go. There's Wenatchee Valley. Trust me, we're down there somewhere. Camera 2. Let's see what Cat can do. I was going to say probably the lower cameras are going to be our only option today. That's the camera on top of the Cascadian Hotel, looking down south. On the avenue. As you can see, the streets are wet, but they have begun to dry out just a little bit. Again, the rain has tapered off quite a bit just in the last half hour or so. Still some light drizzle. Good shot there from Cat.
You're looking good over the bridge, too.
Yep, no problems there. I can see.
Left there.
Camera 3 is going to be a shot of, oh, that's pretty. That's Omi Garden. Now that's kind of interesting because that's basically the same elevation, Steve, as the cross camera, but it's not being in the fog, in the clouds there. So a good shot there from our Omi Gardens camera. Beautiful shot
down
there.
on the Chelan Highway there in that industrial area.
You can see the Stemilk complex, and you can see the Otobashian Bridge, and a couple of clouds hanging around there. Camera 4 is going to be a shot of, ooh, that is gorgeous. That is, what is that?
We're looking across at Aniat.
That is, okay, you're right, that is Aniat. So I'm assuming that's Hose Landing? I'm guessing there, Kat. That's Hose Landing. There you go. So the Aniat emptying into the mighty Columbia, beautiful downtown Aniat. You can see suburban Aniat there, Steve.
Who was Ho and why did he land there?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Or she.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know how Ho's Landing got its name.
Yeah.
So, although, no, you know what I think I do? I think Ho Landing was Franklin Pierce's vice president. That's what I believe. I'm not 100% sure. So there you go. That's what we can see anyway on this cloudy and foggy Friday morning. Speaking of clouds and fog, let's take a look at your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. Rain is still going to linger over most of our area through the morning, and then it's going to taper off this afternoon. We're looking at high today of about 61, which is a lot warmer. Yesterday's high, Steve, was only 51. And just like we had on Wednesday, we got to 51 degrees before noon, and then it never got any warmer. We hit 51 at 11:50 yesterday morning, and it stayed at 51 pretty much for the rest of the day.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it's this time of the year where things start to cool down a bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can't get anything past our senior news correspondent and bureau chief. Clouds for the most part today with a little bit of sun breaks here and there. High today of 61. Again, the rain should be done in its entirety by about 9 o'clock this morning or so. Tonight, cloudy in the early evening. Then, as I mentioned before, it's going to clear out 42 for the overnight low. We will be dry on Friday. Friday night anyway. Saturday, lots of sunshine, but cool in the morning. If you're making a difference day project as an early morning one, it's going to be in the lower 40s when you get going. We'll eventually work our way up to 58 degrees with quite a bit of sunshine Saturday. Another system rolls in on Saturday night, and we have a very good chance of a lot of rain on Saturday night. We're looking at between 1/4 and 1/2 inch of rain on Saturday night, spilling over into Sunday morning, and then we have some sun breaks on Sunday afternoon. For very typical October weather, really.
Hey, well, we need this rain.
Yeah, we need the rain. We're way behind on our yearly rain totals.
Helped them put out a fire out in the Mansfield area yesterday.
Good.
They had like 500 bales of hay that went up.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like a really bad folk song.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? 500 bales of hay, yeah. Or she shanty or something like that. You okay, Kat? I think Kat just wants to go home. Well, in 52 minutes you can. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, senior news correspondent and Bureau Chief Steve Hare will have a bunch of news on this Friday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 00 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
Taking away your lower third.
I came here to CVCH because one of my friends referred me. When I met Dr. Jocelyn, she was just amazing. She connected with my son, and it meant so much to me. He opens up so quickly because she just sits there and plays with him. It really is like going to see a friend. It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted and respected. It just feels like home.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Good morning and welcome back to the program. We have a lot of news to get to here in North Central Washington on this Friday. It's October 26th. Here's what's happening. First of all, a lot of excitement in Wenatchee yesterday afternoon. A Chelan County SWAT team raid on a suspected drug house shut down a portion of Chelan Avenue for a period of time. Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett reports in the news release the raid on the home located in the 200 block of North Chelan Avenue was initiated by the Columbia River Drug Task Force after it received several recent complaints of suspected drug activity there. After cordoning off the area, Officers arrested two 28-year-old men for illegal weapons charges, confiscated one firearm in that home. Three other occupants were also taken into custody. A 3-block section of Chelan Avenue was closed for about an hour, while nearby businesses were asked to shelter in place until that incident cleared. There are some images from our Valley View Sky-Fi cams there. A fire late Thursday morning completely destroyed a motorhome on State Route 97 north of Orondo in Douglas County. Crews responded to the blaze around 11:45 in the morning. State Trooper John Bryant provided us with this image, and he said the RV contained a propane tank and firearm ammunition inside that vehicle, made it difficult to extinguish the blaze. Traffic was actually blocked on Highway 97 for a little over an hour, with alternating lanes for a time after that. No injuries reported in that blaze, and fire officials still determining the cause. Also making Chelan County's Regional Justice Center more secure, turning into a major budget issue this year. County commissioners were presented this week with the proposed jail budget calls for a significant increase in staffing. Interim Jail Director Bill Larson is asking for 15 new positions at an estimated cost of $1.3 million over the next 2 years. Larson reported that the current staff is overworked and lacked proper support through training. Meanwhile, his assessment of the jail working conditions mirrors grievances voiced back in July by the jail's employee union representative, Tom Cash.
Well, this morning we were able to actually meet with the interim director, Bill Larson, and we're cautiously optimistic. We've been addressing the majority of these concerns over the past 10 plus years, and it's reached a tipping point. The employees are basically now asking for the county to address the issues with safety, which encompasses the facility, staffing, training, pretty much just a litany of items that have pretty much gone unaddressed for the past 10 plus years.
Jail officials report the inmate population has changed significantly since the facility was built in 1984. It currently averages about 230 prisoners a day compared to the 136 that it was built to accommodate. Officials also say it's more dangerous now due to a higher number of felon arrests versus those being held for misdemeanor crimes. Proposed jail business plan also identifies several security risks that need to be addressed, including more surveillance cameras, body scanners, and special jail doors that allow inmates to be handcuffed before opening the jail cell. Elsewhere, Leavenworth City Council members have approved a recently completed study for improving downtown parking. The council's action Tuesday night puts into motion a strategic plan now that'll see the addition of paid and timed parking in the resort town. Now, the council also adopted a set of guiding principles that will be the policy guidelines for managing parking within the city limits. The next steps include the creation of an advisory committee and a funding mechanism to pay for the changes. The parking study was commissioned by the city, the Chamber of Commerce, and the Chelan County Port District. Leavenworth, of course, has seen a huge increase in traffic and parking needs over the past decade due to the success of the Bavarian resort town's events and festivals. Well, the Grant County PUD will give Crescent Bar leaseholders an additional 15 years to pay back their share of a new $12.5 million sewer system. Representatives of the Homeowners Association had asked for a 25-year payback rather than 10 years after the project came in much higher than estimated. The original payment plan was part of an agreement that ended years of litigation and gave homeowners new leases through 2047. PUD Commissioner Dale Walker said extending the contract could be a violation of state law, which limits how PUDs can spend money or extend credit. But Commissioner Tom Flint said considering the higher than expected cost, it was the right thing to do.
We've come a long ways in this process, and there's been a total, I think the one thing that's pretty obvious is there's been change for the good, from my perspective, a change for the public to be able to utilize that in a way that they've never had an opportunity to do before. And so in my mind, this is a win-win for the folks that have a leasehold interest there, and also it's a win-win for the public to be able to have harmony here. And at the end of the day, they're paying back plus a little bit more, so the district at the end of it won't be held short. So I support this, even though it may have some audit risk. I think it's the right thing to do.
Now, the Crescent Bar leaseholders themselves had estimated the project would cost $3 to $4 million, but meeting PUD regulatory requirements pushed the actual cost much higher than that. Extension passed by a 3-2 vote with the stipulation the homeowners first pay back more than $20,000 in past due leaseholder rates. In other business, commissioners did not take action, but said they support spending more money than budgeted in 2019 to speed up the build-out of the PUD's fiber optic network. Elsewhere this morning, on the same day the state Supreme Court upheld most of the state's charter school law, Wenatchee's planned school, Columbia Prep, announced its founding board of directors. Columbia Prep, a middle and high school, is expected to open in 2021. Rick Ray will be the board chair. Also on the board are Sarah Rolfs, Karen Rutherford, Carla Soto Mullins, and Matt Lyons. One of the first actions will be a public forum coming up on Thursday, November 8th at the Veterans Hall in Wenatchee. Teacher unions and civil rights groups had challenged the charter school law, which was passed in 2016, claiming use of public money to fund such schools violated the state's constitution. But the Supreme Court, by a 5-4 vote, rejected that argument. Well, once again, the YWCA is bringing the Hallow Queens Drag Show back to the big stage at the New America Performing Arts Center this Saturday. Executive Director Jenny Pratt said the fundraiser is a creative way to grab the community's attention and raise funds for much-needed programming.
The YWCA Hallow Queens Drag Show is coming up Saturday, October 27th, and it's presented by AmeriGroup this year. It is the 4th year for the drag show, and it's a benefit for YWCA North Central Washington. It helps us fund our general operating to operate our homeless shelter, our transitional housing, and our permanent supportive housing. And now we even offer outside case management services and job training. So it's super important fundraiser for our organization. And we have a lot of great community support. We have a great cast and crew coming to perform, and they're all volunteering their time. So if you've never been to a drag show, now's the time. You want to come and start with the best for certain. It's at the New America PAC Performing Arts Center, so big stage, and lots of smiles, lots of fun, lots of laughter. It's definitely a fun fundraiser. At the performance, you're going to see very flamboyant, very dramatic characters performing, very active. We even have a Donatella Howell, who is a magnificent singer. Typically, you'll see lip syncing. And we have one fantastic queen who does amazing vocal numbers. So I'm really thrilled to have her back again. Of course, we have our host, Jessica Ravid, who is lives in Colorado now, and who is traveling back to do this performance for us. So we're just so honored that the queens from around the Northwest and as far as Colorado are actually coming out to do this fundraiser for us again.
Tickets, by the way, for the Hallow Queens Drag Show can be purchased online through the New America PAC or at the door on Saturday. Time now for NCW Live's Megan McPherson with a rundown of our weekend events.
Here's a look at what's on tap this weekend around the Wenatchee Valley. The Artifact Haunted Museum Tour is happening now through Saturday at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center from 6 to 9 p.m. This will be a story-driven, live, interactive, dark, and spooky walk through the museum, including some areas normally off-limits to the public. Tickets are $12 at the door. This tour is not suitable for children under 10 years old. Catch a showing of Little Shop of Horrors, which is being presented by Music Theater of Wenatchee and is being performed this Friday and Saturday at the Riverside Playhouse. Get your tickets at NewAmericaPAC.org. Women's Service League of NCW is holding its annual diaper drive event in conjunction with Make a Difference Day on Saturday. WSL members will be collecting diapers, wipes, baby formula, and cash donations towards the purchase of these items at the following locations: Walmart, Fred Meyer, Albertsons, Martin's Marketplace, and Dutch Bros. The final Wenatchee Valley Farmers Market of the year is this Saturday from 8 to 1 in the west parking lot of Pybus Public Market. Local farmers, artisans, winemakers, bakers, and chefs make up the friendly, hardworking vendors of the market. Eat healthy, eat local, and support your local growers and producers. And finally, Monster Bash 2018 is this Saturday from 10 to 4 at Sage. This is a spectacular family-friendly event featuring trunk or treat, games, prizes, a bouncy house, costume contests, snacks, and more. Proceeds from the event will go towards the needs of Sage clients. For more information on this weekend's events and others, visit the community calendar at ncwlife.com.
No excuse not to get out and enjoy something this weekend. My goodness gracious.
I know
Can't
you have
find
big
something
plans.
to do, that's your fault.
Yeah, yeah. And like as we mentioned before, Saturday looks really good weather-wise. Saturday night we're going to get a lot of rain, and Sunday is going to be kind of one of those cloudy, cool, late October kind of days. What do you got going on this weekend?
You know, I thought I'd go out and check out some of these Make a Difference Day projects. Maybe kind of tag along and get some pictures.
Good. Good for you. Yeah. Good. So we'll have something for Monday.
And exert as least amount of energy that
Which has always been your way. That's always been. Steve finished third in the National Sitting Championships 2 years ago.
Well,
went all the way to the championship. I think you
I
lost
missed out by about 3 hours.
You lost to a Shetland pony, got first, and a sewing machine, I believe, finished second on that one. The news with Grant Olson comes your way at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10. 5, 6, and 10 are your three chances to check out the news with Grant at the anchor chair. Eric handles sports. Eric and Grant together will be at Lee Boffill Field at the Apple Bowl tonight. We got high school football homecoming 2018. The Wenatchee Panthers welcome the Walla Walla Blue Devils into town. Don't play with the football, Steve. That's not for you. If you can't watch the news at 5, 6, and 10 on this very television station, you can watch it on demand on our Facebook page and on our website at ncwlife.com. And that's also two of the many ways you can get a hold of us, senior news correspondent and bureau chief Steve Hare.
And I'll repeat it again, ncwlife.com, our website where you can contact us. Just click the little tab at the top of the page. Facebook, Twitter, always a good place to talk to us. Join in the conversation on the items that we post there. Also news at ncwlife.com. That's the address to our email. Please send us tips via that medium. Thank you. And finally, our breaking news hotline. If you see news happening, call us at 888-NCWL.
Cloudy skies, foggy skies, not a lot of rain coming down. In fact, just a couple of drizzle little drops here and there. 48 degrees outside of our studios. We'll dry out later on today, and we'll top off at about 61, a lot warmer than yesterday. We're going to take a 1 minute break. When we come back, sports, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Local Tel. Monster Bash is this Saturday from 10 to 4 at Sage. This family-friendly event includes trunk or treat, games, prizes, a bounce house, costume contests, snacks, and more. Also on Saturday is the final Wenatchee Valley Farmers Market of the year in the west parking lot at Pybus Market from 8 to 1. Eat healthy, eat local, and support your local growers and producers. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
We're back at 24 minutes after the hour. The ever-widening world of sports begins with high school football. Cashmere played great defense, shut down Cascade last night. 14-10, so they win the Pear Bowls. We open up the Les Schwab scoreboard. That's right, Thursday night football in the CTL. So Cashmere's win combined with Omac's victory over Okanagan in the backyard brawl means there's a three-way tie for second in the CTL. Cashmere, Okanagan, and Cascade. That would necessitate a tiebreaker this Saturday. We believe it would be in Chelan because it has to be at a neutral site. We'll have details on the time and the location for the tiebreaker format tonight on the NCAA Live Evening News with Eric Granstrom. Also last night, as you see, Chelan finished their season with a loss to Riverside. Prep soccer last night. Moses Lake capped off the regular season Big Nine championship. They defeated Eastmont in Moses Lake. The final was 3-0. The Wildcats will be the number 3 seed in the district tournament. They have a play-in game Saturday at home against Davis. That'll be at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Don't forget, Saturday is also the District 6 1A tournament at Lee Boffdale Field at the Apple Bowl. Chelan takes on Okanagan at 4. That'll be followed for the district championship between Cashmere and Cascade at 6 on the Les Schwab scoreboard. In volleyball, Eastmont took second in the Big Nine standings. They swept Davis 3-0. Wenatchee lost at home to West Valley. As you see there, 3-0. So the 3-game win over the Wildcats improves its record to 8-3. The Panthers dropped to 7-4. Each has 1 match remaining, with Wenatchee at Eisenhower Tuesday and Eastmont home against Moses Lake next Thursday. In the District 5-6 2B tournament yesterday, Brewster advanced in straight sets over White Swan. Manson dropped into the losers bracket by losing to Kittitas. The Fall State Academic Champions have been announced by the WIAA, and there you go, the Eastmont Boys Cross Country Team, 4A champions. A combined GPA of 3.947. Almira Cooley Heartline repeats as the academic champs in 1B football, 3.591 GPA for the team. And the Wenatchee girls swimming team, the 4A champs, a combined GPA of 3.897. Nicely done, everybody, for your accomplishments not only in the pool and on the track and on the field, but in the classroom as well. We turn our attention tonight to high school football. The game featured right here on the NCAA Live channel. The Wenatchee Panthers hosting Walla Walla. It is homecoming. It's also the next to last game of the regular season. The Blue Devils have struggled in the Mid-Columbia Conference this year, but they do have some talented players. Wenatchee's Dalton Thomas is going to have to cover one of the best receivers in the league. He's 6 feet 7 inches tall.
Their offense is good. They got a really solid defense. As far as personnel, they got a 6'7" wide receiver, so I'm kind of prepping for him in practice and stuff, expecting some fades and some deep routes. And
yeah, McElvey, I think is his name. 6'7". How do you prepare for that?
It's a lot of.
How tall are you?
I'm 6 foot in cleats, but you know, don't tell anyone that. I'm just gonna tell them I'm 6 foot if I'm in Berks. But to prepare for it, I'm just going for the ball a lot in practice because I know that I can win the physical matchup. I think I'm a little bit faster than he is, but once the ball's in the air, I'm just kind of focusing on getting that ball out of his hand and getting my hands in the right position.
Defensive back coach Jacob Zier is fully aware the next week's game against Eastmont could very well be for the district championship, but he and the coaching staff have tried to keep the team focused on this week.
It's always a challenge. Throughout the whole year, you're always looking forward to certain games. You know it's on the schedule, but the important thing is to take it one day at a time, take it one play at a time, one rep at a time in practice, because if you look too far in advance, you're going to miss what's right in front of you. So staying focused on what's right now is going to help us get to where we need to be for next week going forward. So just trying to make sure that we're clear about who we're preparing for this week, what we're expecting for this week, but understanding and not shying away from talking about what's coming up. Everybody knows the situation. We all know what's coming up and what to expect, and we're excited for that week, but that's that week, and we're looking forward to this week right now.
Eric and Grant on the pregame show at 6:45. We're going to hear more from Coach Zier and Dalton Thomas prior to tonight's 7 o'clock kickoff. Eastmont will try and take another step towards their first Big Nine championship since 2012. They traveled to Moses Lake. The Chiefs are struggling. They're 1-3. They've won the last 2 championships, so they got a good team. They're just struggling this year. Moses Lake has also changed quarterbacks. Dominic Signorelli is out. Logan Spurline is in. Wildcat coach Michael Don says they have to prepare for either scenario.
I don't know why. There's been like one game where one kid he's played in 2 games. I don't know if there are other quarterbacks battling injuries. It's not like we get injury reports, so we watch film the same as my defensive coaches ask, is that kid out? What's going on? I don't know. We'll find out Friday whether he's there or not. He's a good athlete, heck of a baseball player, and if he is there, if not, the other kid's a big kid. Stocky 200-pound quarterback, and they've done a good job. As far as Moses Lake and where they've been in the past, they're not what they were, but they still have 27 seniors, and they do play a few young guys, and I think it's just something they're not used to doing. They're not used to playing a lot of sophomores and even juniors. They've been pretty senior dominant for a long time, and but they've played some teams tough, and they've hung in there. They played Ike down to the wire, and we know that they can play sound fundamental football.
The Wildcats and the Chiefs at Lions Field in Moses Lake, 7 o'clock kickoff there. The rest of the prep football schedule for tonight: Looks just like that. Manson is at Liberty Bell, Antioch hosts Bridgeport, and Waterville, Mansfield, Simon and Garfunkel travel to Elmira, Cooley, Heartline, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. College football this weekend. Eastern hosts Idaho on the red carpet. That's a 12:05 kickoff. Number 15, Washington, travels to the Bay Area. They'll take on Cal at 3:30. You can watch that on FS1. The 14th ranked Washington State Cougars at Stanford tomorrow. Watch out for a letdown. 4 o'clock on the Pac-12 network. Central Washington is in California to take on Humboldt State. Well, the Wenatchee Wild have a couple of home games this weekend at the Town Toyota Center. Wenatchee will try to extend their 2-game winning streak against the Cowichan Valley Capitals. 7 o'clock tonight, tomorrow at 7 is a rematch of last year's BCHL championship with the Prince George Spruce Kings in town tomorrow. Also, on a programming note, you can watch some hockey this week on the NCW Live channel. We got last year's game with the Wild and Alberni Valley Sunday at 2, and the Wenatchee West Kelowna game Sunday at 7. And the next week, we begin our Thursday night hockey nights on the NCW Live channel every Thursday night for the rest of this fall and into the winter. It'll be Wild hockey. We're going to bring you the Wenatchee and Nanaimo game from earlier this month when the Wild dropped their new banners. They handed out the rings. That first home game of the season, what a great night that was. You can watch that beginning next Thursday night. Seahawks are in Detroit on Sunday. Why they're being punished, I don't know. Seattle, of course, coming off a bye week. They're 3-3 on the year. They trail the Rams in the NFC West. Detroit is also 3-3, trying to chase Minnesota and Green Bay in the NFC North. Sunday kickoff on Fox is at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Friday, 31 minutes after the hour. It's National Pumpkin Day. That's your obscure holiday of the day today, National Pumpkin Day. Pumpkins originated in North America about 9,000 years ago. They base that finding because they found pumpkin seeds in Mexico that they figure were at least that old. Native Americans really popularized pumpkins because they needed the pumpkins to get them through the winter. They would grow lots of pumpkins and lots of squash because they had a long shelf life and they could eat them to get them through the winter. It is thought that Christopher Columbus brought pumpkin seeds back to Europe after he dropped by and said hi. Now, of course, we associate pumpkins with October and Halloween specifically, and jack-o'-lanterns. The largest pumpkin ever weighed 1,140 pounds. That's a lot of pumpkin. Pumpkins are 90% water, and pumpkins are an excellent source of vitamin A and potassium. Pretty flavorful, too, especially pumpkin pie. Happy National Pumpkin Day. All right, let's do today in history. This is the 137th anniversary of the legendary gunfight at the OK Corral. The good guys, the lawmen, were Virgil Earp, Wyatt Earp, Morgan Earp, Doc Holliday, and the others. The outlaws, Ike Clanton, Billy Clanton, Tom McClure, Frank McClure, and Billy Claiborne. And the Beatles. Apparently the Beatles were involved in it as well. Stunning development there. The lawmen won. By the way, the gunfight at OK Corral took place on this date in 1881. Gee, I think I've got something about the Beatles coming up here shortly. October 26, 1965, the Beatles were involved in the gunfight at the OK Corral. Queen Elizabeth invested the Beatles with their MBEs. The Beatles officially became members of the British Empire. To calm their nerves before the ceremony at Buckingham Palace, the Beatles snuck into the bathroom and smoked a joint. So those 4 gentlemen right there are feeling pretty good. They got their MBEs, and all those blue bloods in England got all mad for whatever reason. And today is the anniversary of the eradication of smallpox. If you got smallpox back in the day, you had about a 30% chance of dying, and if you survived, you would probably go blind. But the World Health Organization and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention considers October 26, 1977 as the day that smallpox was eradicated. It's been without question, the most successful success of vaccination ever. And finally, we got some birthdays at 33 minutes after the hour. Hillary Rodham Clinton celebrates her 71st birthday today. 67th United States Secretary of State, and of course the 44th First Lady of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton, is 71 years old today. Keith Urban, life is good for him. Born and raised in New Zealand, spends most of his time in the U.S. now. Singer, songwriter, guitarist. Keith Urban is 51 years old today. And a very funny guy, Seth MacFarlane, celebrates birthday number 45. He created Family Guy and American Dad, The Cleveland Show, the movies Ted, the movie Ted 2, A Million Ways to Die in the West. Seth MacFarlane, life is good for him. He's 45 years old today. Going to take a break. Everybody's entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. And then my conversation with the good ladies from the Trusting Spirit Horse Rescue, who's got a big Make a Difference Day project tomorrow. You're going to be hearing from Claudia Trapp and Stephanie Steibel when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Collins Fashions has your lifestyle in mind. Casual to special occasions, head-to-toe styling, foundations to shoes, jewelry, scarves, handbags, awesome gifts too. Denim brands from Liverpool, Not Your Daughter's Jeans, French dressing, all fits and sizes. Slacks from Joseph Ribkoff, Renoir, Tribal, and Elliott Lauren. Easy care and flattering. Stylish sweaters from Icelandic, Curio, and Tribal. Great selection of cashmere sweaters and scarves too. We always have you in mind at Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Local Tel. The Artifact Haunted Museum Tour is this Thursday through Saturday at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. This will be a story-driven, live, interactive, dark, and spooky walk through the museum, including some areas normally off-limits to the public. Teeny Weeny Halloween Literacy Fair is this Friday from 10 to noon at the Kashmere Library. There will be fun and games, and kids can wear a costume. For more information, visit ncwlife.com.
Life is about memories and lasting impressions. With Boswell's expansive 2-story showroom of quality home furnishings, you'll find everything you need to create a home to remember. Need assistance? From fabric options and complimentary design service to complete home makeovers, Glenn, Buffy, and Teresa are there to guide you. Come into Boswell's and find inspiration and comfort for every room in your home. Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
That's pretty much it. It's a great house, great neighborhood. It's great.
Sam's still getting used to the idea of moving.
Sam, you play basketball?
Yeah.
Let me show you something. Now I'm thinking you put your hoop right here, and you even got enough room for a three-point line. One of the things I've noticed is that if you got a hoop in your driveway, you make friends real fast.
At Coldwell Banker Levine, our agents don't just understand real estate, they understand what home is all about.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks. So bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Again, I've been thinking about this issue of Christian men not wanting to be alone with any woman not his wife. Well, think about it. Can we just realize how disrespectful this is to all women, that this kind of thinking is? I mean, do these guys really think that there's some woman out there or any woman out there is ready to prey on them just for the heck of it? And even if such women did exist, can't you behave yourself? And by the way, if you run into my wife in an elevator, don't worry, she's safe. I mean, why should she even think about hamburger when she got steak at home? This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Scare Crazy in Kashmere. It's a spooktacular good time all month long in Kashmere. Scarecrows will be waiting for you throughout the town. Silly ones, spooky ones, and everything in between. Yeah, it's Scare Crazy in Kashmere. Bring the family and find the scarecrows all around Kashmere. And be sure to thank these fine sponsors.
Epladolin Assisted Living. Affordable care in a home-like atmosphere with no long-term contracts. Liberty Orchards. Bring the family for a tour of the Applets and Cotlets Candy Kitchen. Open daily.
Turn back the clocks and grab the ice melt. Winter weather is here. This is Corey at Rose Tractor. If you're looking for a reliable way to clear snow, look no further than Cub Cadet. For sidewalks and driveways, a Cub Cadet snow thrower will get the job done in a jiffy. For larger jobs, a Cub Cadet Challenger utility vehicle with a snow blade will handle about anything. You can depend on Cub Cadet for years of reliable performance, and we'll help you select the best model for your job at Rose Tractor, family-run business at the corner of 3rd and Rock Island Road in East Wenatchee.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior service in a clean environment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. I personally am a horse lover. I wish I still had horses. I don't anymore. Quite frankly, I can't afford horses anymore. I'm on a television salary. But there's good folks up in the Rondo area who've been doing really good work for the last 12 years. It's the Trusting Spirit Horse Group. They rescue horses that, quite frankly, need to be rescued. There's too many of those. And they got a big project to make a difference today, and here to talk about their organization and what's going to go on Saturday the 27th. To my immediate left, I want to get your name correct, Stephanie Steibel.
Correct.
And on my far left is the lady who started all of this back in 2006, Claudia Trapp. Hello, Claudia.
Hello.
Let's talk about your organization, Claudia. This is your baby. You did this.
Yes.
Take me back 12 years ago. How did this organization come to be?
I actually had been looking for a horse, and in doing so, I found a little horse tied to a tree. It was just a skeleton with a hide hung on him, and they never made a pasture for him. And I brought him home, and that was my first rescue, and it just kind of evolved. It took on a life of its own. I had told my vet that if she ever ran across another horse that had an issue, needed a few groceries, I'd donate a bale of hay. And she called me a couple months later and said, "We have 18 starving horses, how many can you take?" And I kind of laughed. I thought she was teasing me, and she was dead serious. They had horses that maybe had 1 to 2 days to live. I mean, how can you say I'll only take a couple? We took all 18 in, and that's what kind of started the whole project. And looking out in the pen, we decided we really need help. So we became a 501c3 and put ourselves out there as a rescue.
When I hear about 18 horses that are about ready to go to horse heaven, my first emotion is anger. I get mad. How did this happen?
Yes.
You're obviously a very empathetic person, but I go like, who would do this to a horse?
I really try not to judge, because then you get kind of wrapped up in that. And in this case, it was a divorce, and the horses were like their kids. They got caught in the middle of it. It was January, middle of winter, freezing cold. The woman turned the water off, so all the troughs froze, and then put a restraining order on the ex-husband so he couldn't come and turn it back on. It was just one of those horrible situations. They had problems of their own.
Yeah, it's understandable how you want to, that's probably a rarity, though. Most of the time, it's just people who probably got a horse and I'm in over my head now. Is that?
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
Go ahead, Stephanie.
Actually, we had a lot of that. And so we had to make a policy to deal only with the animal protection agencies, because we even had people who wanted to get rid of an older horse so that they could upgrade. And so they would try to
trade in a new model for an old one, right?
Right.
This isn't a car dealership for crying out loud.
And we'd also have people call and ask us to go to a location where they had seen what they perceived to be an abused horse. And that's not our job either. That's for the law enforcement agencies. So we kind of had to make a pretty black and white line as to what our role is. So we are not going out searching for rescues. We are a facilitator to help the people who are seizing horses that are in trouble, as well as horses that need temporary shelter from fire situations, evacuations.
So you started out with just, according to your notes here, you've taken in 51 horses. Most of the mares, or over half of the mares?
Yes, yeah, quite a few mares.
Feeding and taking care of horses, and I know this for a fact, costs some money. In fact, it costs a lot of money.
Yes,
Where does I know you're a 501(c), but where does your money come from, Claudia?
We beg a lot. We have donations. People will bring us some hay. For a while, people were asking us to go get the hay. We have some, can you get it? But we all have full-time jobs. We have families. We have this. It's very difficult to do that. So if people can bring it to us, we so appreciate that. Money, if they have tack, used tack, we can always use that. And then Stephanie organized a tack sale every year for us, and that's our main fundraiser. We've gone to service groups that come out, and they help us with a lot of our projects, but then see our need, and then they make donations to us also.
How many horses are at your facility right now as we speak on this morning?
We have 8 rescues that are, they can be adoptable. Some we kind of think might end up being a permanent resident with us. But on occasion, we're happily surprised where somebody just wants a pasture mate or a friend for their other horse, and it works out great. We have the horse that is lame and can't be ridden, and it works just perfect.
And horses are sociable animals. They like to hang around other horses, and that's critical.
Exactly.
Right, they don't want to be alone.
No. Well, talk about your campus, your actual physical location of this. Horses need room too, besides.
Yes, we have large paddocks for each one. They can run, they can move, and then there's a shelter so they are protected from rain, wind, snow. We try to limit how many we have in each one so they have their social aspect of it, but they also have room to move and graze and just kind of get the exercise they need.
Just be a horse. Yeah, just be a horse.
Then we do have a couple pastures that we got grants for. They're irrigated pastures, and we rotate them through those. There's some horses that have been in tiny little stalls all their lives, and so we don't just turn them loose on that.
Sure.
We kind of work them up to it, and it's just a happy, happy thing when you can put them out there for the first time and see that they're a horse and they're just...
That was my next question, Stephanie. I'll ask you, how do you know when a horse is really happy? I mean, dogs wag their tail. What does a horse do? Does a horse just feel good? You just know? You get that vibe?
You can see it in their behavior. You know, they may not be running around to express that. We had an example of a horse that was very depressed, which I haven't seen before. And it was, I mean, when they're neglected, they almost have no personality. They're just very down. But we had one that we'd had for a while, and we moved her in with some new pen mates. And she was so depressed she'd go stand in the back. It was very clearly visible that she did not want to be in with those new pen mates. So they're subtle signs.
You probably know better than I would. How do you when you first rescue horse first ends up at your facility? Obviously, there's that weaning period. How does that work? I mean, as you get horses are going to be natural. If they're being abused, they're going to be untrustworthy of human beings to begin with, right?
Correct.
So how does that prospect begin? I mean, how do you get the horse from being near death to a happy horse?
It's spending a lot of time just standing out there with them, slowly working up to them. There's quite a few that you cannot touch them, no way, no how. And it is just sitting out there, getting a stool and sitting out there with them and let them make the decision to come up to you a lot of times, working up to them and putting a hand on them and then walking away. And that's very, very hard to do because once you touch them, you want to hold them, you want to say it's going to be okay, but you've got to walk away and not overpower them with what we want. And you can see in their behavior and how they respond to you. And then pretty soon, they're putting their heads over the fence looking, oh, someone's coming. Oh, hey, me, over here. You know, it's great.
The other horses are saying, oh, by the way, Claudia and Stephanie are cool. Come on over, guys. Come on, see them.
Well, that's actually a tactic we'll use. If we have one that's very standoffish, we'll put one that's very comfortable with people and very friendly in with it, and they will mimic that behavior.
Oh, I did not know that. Let's talk about Saturday. We got some photos of what you have going on at your fine facility. First of all, you got a barn or a paddock that's like it's like falling apart. So what are we looking at here? Explain to this, Claudia and Stephanie.
This one has been there the longest, forever, and it was put up as kind of a temporary thing, and instead of getting back to that, we just kept adding more.
It was a Make a Difference Day project, probably one of our very first Make a Difference Days.
Yeah, it looks like it's been added on, not by Frank Lloyd Wright anyway.
Yeah, no.
It was actually repaired last year.
Okay.
So
so
and
now
I've seen fences look better than that too.
Right.
Yeah, this is an example of them leaning over, getting the grass that's greener on the other side, and just working their way down. We've found new types of fencing that we want to try, and there's no straightening this up anymore. We have to take it down.
You can only repair it for so much before it just is unrepairable.
Exactly, yes. So, and we have hot wires on a lot of them so they don't lean over, but it's amazing how smart those horses are. They will stand parallel to it and swish their tails until they break that hot wire and then lean over.
They're that good.
Yeah. They can outsmart me any day.
So what can people do on Saturday the 27th to help this organization out? What you just a strong back, and what do you need?
Yes, we need people that, well, actual knowledge of how to do this would be great, but we can certainly show them how to use a hammer, take the fencing down, take the shelter down. We will rebuild it. Yeah, and we also have some small projects that are great for kids.
Okay.
You know, because we want to get them involved.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
there's some kids having fun.
Yeah, with little Mighty Mouse.
We also have a link on our website. If people are not physically or schedule-wise able to come out, they can make a donation through our website, and that will help with the fencing supplies and
Do
the
people need to bring tools and gloves and that kind of stuff too? Or?
Definitely gloves, good sturdy work boots, long pants. There's no place for shorts out there.
Or tennis shoes, really, if they can help it.
Yeah, good solid work boots. So there's some kids pitching in. This is all last year.
Yes.
Which begs the next question: where is your fine place? Where can we find Trusting Spirit?
We are on the highway going into Orondo, between mile marker 139 and 140. And so whether you're coming from the north or the south there. And we have the only white rail fence out front. And just come on in the gate and you'll find plenty of parking room and we will grab you.
And just for general donations like, hey, Claudia, Stephanie, I got hay I don't need, or my wife and I are downsizing and we're not going to have our property anymore. You want to come get some hay? Just general donations. Probably the best thing you need is money, right? Just plain dough.
That always is number one on our list, certainly.
And we have a link on our website as well. The Facebook is just kind of a temporary Make a Difference Day. If they have donations, small tack donations, I work in Wenatchee and can facilitate a meeting. Hey, we really prefer they deliver it. We're not set up with a small trailer to get small loads.
That's understandable. Is the Wenatchee Valley a good horse town? Good area here for if you're a horse lover?
Yes,
it is.
For general people, just generally take care of their horses. They're pretty good at it.
Yes. Yeah, for a while when the economy was so bad, we saw a real uptick in calls and please help us. But generally they are the ones that help us out. You know,
and they're outlying areas. I would say the majority of our horses are from outlying areas, not from the Wenatchee, East Wenatchee area in general.
Is there anything better than being on the top of a horse on a nice peaceful Sunday morning, just taking a ride in the trail? Isn't that about perfect?
We just had our board meeting on horseback a couple weekends ago.
Absolutely.
Fabulous ride.
One more item of business we need to take care of, because she's not on camera. Cindy Wall is hiding over there in the corner. What's her, first of all, how come she's not on TV? And second of all, what does she do for the organization? Because she's the one who dragged you two in here.
Right.
Yes, she is amazing with all the behind the scenes computers, and she's the one that set up our online donations and things like that. She's great at PR work. She tells us what not to say.
And she's really good at not being on camera, too. As well.
Although she should be.
Maintains our website.
Speaking of website, trustingspirithorserescue.org. That's a mouthful.
Correct.
Trustingspirithorserescue.org. Do what I do. Just Google it. It pops right up. Keep up the good work. Let me know how it did. And, you know, I love horses and I miss having horses. But if you need anything else from us, from the NCAA Life Channel or me personally or this show, let me know. I'd like to have you on again.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'd love it.
Absolutely. Claudia and Stephanie and Cindy in the corner who's not participating. She's really good at telling people what to do.
Yes, she is.
She prepares us well.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCAA Life Channel. We'll be right back.
Peace of mind. It's what everybody desires when it comes to ownership of a car. When you purchase and service a car from Apple Valley Honda, we're going to give you a warranty on your new Honda, and it's going to be for life. As a car owner, you pay thousands of dollars to insurance companies to maintain the appearance of your car. At Apple Valley Honda, you'll pay nothing to help you maintain the mechanics of your car. And again, it's for life. At Apple Valley Honda, our customers are valued, and they deserve the peace of mind that comes with the warranty for life. So come visit us. We would love to see you.
NCW Life Channel is proud to present the Spotlight on Business. We're going behind the scenes to bring you the story of local businesses throughout North Central Washington. How did they get started, and why are they so successful? We'll answer these and other questions each week with Spotlight on Business, Sundays through Fridays on the NCW Life Channel.
Thanks to the help I received at Goodwill,
I have a job. I'm working now. Thanks to Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill. Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Thank you, Goodwill.
Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to get you back to work. When you donate to or shop at Goodwill, you're really helping people find work.
Thank you. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
Scare Crazy in Cashmere. It's a spooktacular good time all month long in Cashmere. Scarecrows will be waiting for you throughout the town. Silly ones, spooky ones, and everything in between. Yeah, it's Scare Crazy in Cashmere. Bring the family and find the scarecrows all around Cashmere. And be sure to thank these fine sponsors.
Cashmere Veterinary Clinic. Natural pet care in everything they do. Enjoy a healthy meal at the Walkabout Grill. Walkabout Grill, where eating out is eating healthy.
The bridge.
And we are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with about 3 minutes left to go in the program. I got an email from one of our coworkers, Scott, who says there is a wreck westbound on the Senator George Seller Bridge, and I think he can make out a little bit of the backup there, Steve. And
The
if you look at the upper
left-hand corner
there. It's a little too foggy and cloudy for us to use the cross cam, which would normally be a perfect camera to take a look at this, but you can tell traffic's not moving at all, or very slowly anyway, if at all, on the Senator George Seller Bridge. So if you're heading from East Wenatchee to Wenatchee, you're going to get slowed down quite a bit. You might want to just pop on over and take the Otobashian Bridge if you have the time and wherewithal to do so.
Maybe a few people late to work this morning.
Yeah, so. Speaking of work, we got work tonight. As a matter of fact, first of all, we got the news with Grant Olson in the anchor chair, and Grant will be handling your weather forecast too, including that all-important weekend weather forecast with Eric Granstrom in the sports desk. And then, of course, at 6:45 tonight, we will take to the air with the pregame show, 7 o'clock kickoff, homecoming for the Wenatchee Panthers, Walla Walla Blue Devils in town. These guys were old rivals going back to the 20s, I think.
Back in the day,
It was back in the day. These were two of the powerhouses in Eastern Washington football. Now, of course, Walla Walla and Wenatchee are in different conferences. Walla Walla is in the Mid-Columbia Conference, and Wenatchee remains in the Big 9 Conference. But it is homecoming.
I've got family down there.
Yeah, well, it's a great,
fact,
well, they're not in the penitentiary, right?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
They're outstanding in their field, though.
I have family who live in Walla Walla as well, but
Mm-hmm.
they're Wenatchee alums, so I think they're pretty much cheering for Wenatchee anyway. It is homecoming again, 7 o'clock tonight at Lee Boftel Field of the Apple Bowl. And boy, go Eastmont. I'd love it if Eastmont beat Moses Lake tonight. Eastmont has a league game. Obviously, the Walla Walla game is a non-league game for the Panthers, and that would set up one of the all-time epic bridge of sportsmanship games 1 week from today. We're going to have special programming for that. We're going to do a 1-hour pregame show. We're going to be interviewing all kinds of local celebrities. We got a big production planned for the Eastmont Wenatchee game at the Apple Bowl 1 week from today. Let's take a look at your weather forecast while we have a minute or two. That's what it looks like. The rain has already begun to taper off a little bit, still cloudy and foggy. And it will be cloudy and foggy for most of the day today, but the rain should be done and gone by 9 or so. The clouds will be hanging around, and considerably warmer, 61 is going to be our forecast afternoon high today. We clear out tonight, lots of sunshine Saturday and a high of 58. Saturday night, lots of rain, and then Sunday, lots of clouds with a slight chance of rain. Significant rain on Saturday night, by the way. Our rainfall total so far since it started raining yesterday afternoon through the overnight has been, over a quarter of an inch of rain, which for us is a lot of rain. Steve, have yourself a good weekend, buddy.
You too.
Yeah, enjoy the game tonight.
Be productive.
Oh, I like that. And as Tucker Wagner would say, stay off social media.
And
see you
vote.
Monday. Bye-bye.
Vote.